Dear students, today we will learn about brief treatments on cell culturing, apoptosis and aging. First, let us learn about cell culture. Cell culture is the process of growing cells outside the body in an environment which mimics in vivo microenvironment of the cell. In multicellular organisms, cells do not function in isolation. The cells in close contact interact among themselves. The cells are also in contact with a complex network of secreted proteins and carbohydrates called extracellular matrix. Moreover, the cells are in contact with hormones and hormone-like substances. Thus, in their natural environment, cells have their own microenvironment consisting of growth factors, hormones, and extracellular matrix that facilitate interaction and communication among them. Therefore, to enable to grow a cell successfully outside its natural environment, they must be provided with a suitable microenvironment, including substrate for cell adhesion, nutrients, hormone, and growth factor. Now, what are the substrate for cell adhesion? Most cells from solid tissues require a surface for their adhesion unless they have transformed and anchorage independent. The surface of such substrates should be slightly negative charged so that the extracellular matrix proteins and proteoglycans secreted by the cells can bind to it. Thus, the glass or polystyrene surface of the substrate, which is going to be used for adhesion of the cells during culture, should be treated with electric ion discharge or high energy ionizing radiation so that it carries a slight negative charge. The glass or plastics which have been conditioned by previous cell growth also provide good surface for cell attachment. Treating the surface with extracellular matrix constituents such as fibronectin, collagen, and their derivatives like gelatin are also suitable for cell attachment. The next requirement is nutrients. The media used in animal cell culture is supplemented with rich amount of glucose. In transformed cells, lactic acid, which is a byproduct of glucose metabolism, may not enter citric acid cycle. In such cells, major source of energy is glutamine. Essential amino acids, cysteine, arginine, glutamine and tyrosine are also required. Other non-essential amino acids may also add to the culture media to compensate either for a particular cell type's incapacity to make them or for the leakage in the media. Water-soluble vitamins like choline, folic acid, inositol, nicotinamide, etc. are added to the media. Other requirements are derived from serum. Hormones and growth factors. Major source of growth factors in cell culture is serum. Serum contains major growth factors such as platelet-derived growth factor, fibroblast growth factor, epidermal growth factor, insulin-like growth factors 1 and 2. Common sera used in animal cell culture are bovine calf, fetal bovine, adult horse, and human serum. Calf serum and fetal bovine serum are the most widely used. Not only they have growth factors, serum also contain minerals, lipids, and hormones. Proteins necessary for transport of lipids, minerals, fatty acids, and hormones, as well as those that promote the attachment of the cells in the substrate, are also present in serum. The hormones like insulin, hydrocortisone, and somatomedins are also present in serum and promote uptake of glucose and amino acids. The media used for cell culture needs to maintain the correct pH, osmolality, viscosity, etc. Temperature of the culture differs from cell to cell, which is dependent on the source of the cell. Cells of human origin are generally cultured at 37 degrees Celsius. pH of the culture media for most of the animal cells is maintained at about 7.4 but varies from cell to cell. Changes in the pH of the culture is detected by using phenol red, which show different colors according to pH of the culture. pH of the culture is maintained using CO2 in gas phase with Happy's buffer and bicarbonate in the media. An osmolality between 260 mosmol per kg to 320 mosmol per kg is suitable for most of the cells. Salts like sodium ion, potassium ion, magnesium ion, calcium ion, chloride ion, sulfate ion, phosphate ion, and bicarbonate are added to culture media for maintaining osmolality and other cellular functions like attachment to substrate and cell-to-cell communication. Apoptosis. During cell cycle, cell may face damages in their genome which is beyond repairable. The transmission of such damaged genome to the daughter cells may cause genetic diseases like cancer. In such condition, cells opt for suicidal pathway known as apoptosis. Apoptosis is initiated by p53 and proceed according to precisely coordinated schedule. The apoptosis initiated by p53 can be triggered in two distinct pathways: intrinsic apoptotic pathway or stress-activated apoptotic pathway and extrinsic apoptotic pathway or receptor-activated apoptotic pathway. First, we'll see about intrinsic pathway. The intrinsic apoptotic pathway is initiated in response to irreparable damages in genome and other intrinsic stress of the cells such as excessive calcium and oxidants within the cell. In response to irreparable genomic damages and other stress, p53 induces synthesis of Bax protein. The Bax proteins then binds with the BCL2 protein and opens specialized channels in outer membrane of mitochondria and permit the flow of cytochrome C to the cytoplasm. In cytoplasm, cytochrome C binds with APAF1 and form apoptosome. The resulting apoptosome complex then proceeds to activate pro-caspase 9, which is normally latent to give active caspase 9. Caspase 9 in turn cleaves and activates pro-caspase 3 to give active caspase 3, which proceeds to cleave and activate yet another pro-caspase down the line. Functionally, these caspases are of two types: initiator and executioner caspase. The caspase 9 is initiator caspase, while caspase 3 and other caspases down the line such as caspase 6 and caspase 7 are executioner caspase. These executioner caspases then cleave a number of cellular components which are essential for the survival of the cell. They cleave lamins on inner surface of the nuclear membrane and cytoskeletal proteins such as actin, plectin, vimentin, inhibitors of the caspase-activated DNAs, etc. The executioner caspases even extend their activity back into the mitochondria where the apoptotic program is initiated. They cleave proteins associated with electron transport chain within mitochondria that leads to the disruption of ETC and ATP production and causes release of reactive oxygen species. All this causes profound morphological transformations and subsequent death of the cells. There are also proteins which inhibit the process of apoptosis. These are known as inhibitors of apoptosis, which block the activity of caspases either by binding to the caspases or by making the caspases for ubiquitination and degradation. During the process of apoptosis, the activities of these proteins are inhibited by another protein called SMAC diblo, which is released from mitochondria together with cytochrome C. Now coming to the extrinsic pathway. The extrinsic pathway of apoptosis is initiated by binding of ligands to cell surface death receptors, which activate it and in turn bind and activate associated proteins called FADD in cytoplasm. This resulting complex, called death-inducing signaling complex, binds and triggers the self-cleavage of proenzymes of initiator caspase 8 and 10. Once activated, these initiator caspases activate the executioner caspases 3, 6 and 7. From this, the extrinsic apoptotic pathway is converged with that of the intrinsic pathway. Now let us see what is aging. After the onset of reproductive maturity, organism's adaptive capacity to its normal environment is reduced gradually and then become more susceptible to diseases. The degree to which an individual organism maintains health span and lifespan is a function of complex interactions between genetic inheritance, environment, including cultural inheritance and stochastic events. At the cellular and molecular level, aging is a complex process which depends on many factors like ability of stress-resistant cells, response to growth signals, diet and metabolism, response to DNA damage and repair mechanism, mitochondrial telomeres and telomerase activity, etc. Individuals with higher potential of stress resistance live longer, showing the reduced rate of aging. Mitochondrial oxidative stress has a direct impact on the process of aging. Individuals with less reactive oxidative species produced by mitochondria has more stress-resistant and slower rate of aging, while individuals with higher ROS are more sensitive to stress and higher rate of aging. Now coming to the conclusion. Growth of cells outside the body requires an environment that mimics its natural microenvironment. For their proper proliferation, they must be supplied with sufficient nutrients supplemented with growth hormones, vitamins, minerals and salts. For the cells derived from solid tissues, a substrate for the attachment is required. This substrate can be glass or polystyrene plastic, which is treated with high energy ionizing radiations or electric ion discharge. Such treatment make them carry a negative charge on their surface to which extracellular matrix protein secreted by the cells can attach. Major source of energy for the culture cells are derived from glucose, but transformed cells can also use glutamine as source of energy. Most of the growth hormones, minerals and vitamins are present in serum, which is added during culture. Irreparable genomic damage in cells initiate a suicidal program called apoptosis. Apoptosis can be done in two pathways, intrinsic pathway and extrinsic pathway. The intrinsic pathway is initiated when the cells are in stress conditions or there is irreparable damage in DNA. P53 protein plays a very important role in the initiation of apoptosis through intrinsic pathway. During intrinsic pathway, cytochrome C is released when the intermembrane space of mitochondria and initiate may cause cascade of reaction leading to activation of executioner caspases. The executioner caspase digests many cellular proteins which are vital for growth and survival of cells, thus leading them to death. The extrinsic pathway is initiated by binding of appropriate ligands to the cell surface, that receptors that initiates cascade of reactions inside the cell that lead to the activation of executioner caspases. Some executioner caspases are used by both pathways, thus converging the two pathways. The apoptotic cells are break up into apoptotic bodies which are ultimately phagocytosed. Accumulation of irreparable damages in DNA, increase in stress and ROS, stimulations by growth hormone are among the many factors that reduce the adaptive capacity of cells to its natural environment. This leads to aging and makes one more susceptible to diseases.